Hey y'all, it's 9:15 p.m. I just threw the briskets on. Got them cooking at 250 degrees. So as you can see, got two, they're 15-pound briskets. So not two, two on the bottom rack, one on the middle rack. So easily fit 4 15-pound briskets on the 1050. So anyways, I'm gonna smoke these at 250 with some pecan and oak wood. And let these go probably, I'm guessing 7-8 hours. We'll check on them and probably wrap them at that time if the bark's set and it looks good. So gonna keep an eye on these for the next couple hours, and then I'm gonna go lay down and take a few hour nap and then get up and wrap them. So this is my first real smoke. I did cook some fajitas earlier on it and they turned out pretty good, but so this is my first real test with the 1050, excuse me, and we'll see. It's a big test for the first one, so got a lot of faith in the smoker, and we'll see if she powers through. I forgot to mention this earlier, but for the smoke, I'm using B&B briquettes, the oak briquettes, and so on the 560, I get right at 12 hours on a bag of those oak briquettes, and so I'm going to test to see how long of a cook I can get with them here on the 1050. Just to let you know, I did have a little bit of Kingsford charcoal in the bottom of that from earlier when I did my seasoning and all that stuff. So there was a little bit of Kingsford in the bottom, but I got about 11 hours worth for the 560 of B&B briquettes on there. So we'll see if it lasts about 11 hours or so. That's what I'm thinking. So apparently the 1050 is not quite as efficient as the 560, and that's what we're going to try to test also. So we got that going on, and I'll let these babies sit for a little while, and we'll see you in a bit. Here y'all, it's about 11:15. Been on for right at 2 hours, and that's mostly steam. There we go, nice and cleaned up. So man, they are coming along nicely. They are sweating, looking beautiful. So I'm gonna put another wood chunk in, pretty good sized wood chunk. Then I'm gonna let these babies take a nap for the next few hours, and I'm gonna take a nap as well. So we'll see these things again about 4:15 or so in the morning. That'll put us right about 7 hours in on the cook. We'll check to see how that bark's set up, and then we might wrap. All right, see y'all then. Hey y'all, it's 4:15 in the morning. So these briskets have been on, let's see, right at 7 hours. That wasn't. So they're looking really good. Starting to get a nice dark bark on them. So I'm gonna let these go a little longer. Look at them. That's just a bark that's not dried out. See this right here? See, you can see, nice and soft still. So it's not dried out. Bark's starting to set up nicely. I'm gonna let these go maybe another hour before I wrap. Then I'm gonna wrap them in some butcher paper. Then we'll call it good. Throw in a little more pecan wood. And man, they're looking good. All right, see y'all in an hour. Hey y'all, it's been another hour, so we are right at, let's see, should be right at almost 8 hours on the smoker. And let's see, I haven't even taken a peek. Man, that bark's set up nicely on these. So nice and juicy still. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them off. I'm gonna wrap them, and then wrap them in butcher paper and throw them back on, and they are looking mighty good, mighty good. And that is not burn, that is bark. So just to let everybody know, I know some people will think that it's burned, but it's not. It's just that nice dark black bark. So let me get these wrapped, and then I'll throw them back on, and I'll see you after that. So we are, that's that brisket out in the light, and it's looking good. All right. Go ahead and wrap this one. All right, y'all. I got these briskets wrapped. one showing 185 already. That doesn't seem right, but I'm gonna check it. But anyway, briskets are wrapped. I moved this one up to the top. It was, for some reason, down here in the bottom corner. Even with my biscuit test, it wasn't showing a hot spot, but man, the bottom on that thing was getting kind of charred. So it might have just been the brisket, I don't know. But the other two are looking perfect. I mean, they are looking great. So gonna go ahead and put these on, cook them until they probe tender. So 203-ish is kind of what I'm looking at, but it just, whenever they probe tender is when they're gonna be done. So go ahead and let these keep going, and we'll see y'all later. All right, everybody. These briskets have been on for almost 12 hours now, and they are darn close to temp. So I got 3 of them here. So 560, or excuse me, the 1050. Got to get used to not saying 560 all the time. The 1050 has done great the whole time. Held 250 degrees the whole cook. I did have to add more charcoal. It seems that I get about 9.5, maybe 10 hours of cook time with a bag of B&B briquettes. When on the 560 I was getting about 12 hours, so I'm getting about 2.5 hours less time. Of course, time will only tell. This is only the first run with it. So we'll continue to try it, but I did have to add more briquettes or more charcoal to it just to get it to finish off this cook. But all in all, extremely happy with the 1050. It's worked wonderfully. I did have one minor problem with this, and it's not the 1050's fault, but as you can see, a little bit of drippage there. I've already cleaned it up a little. Is that overflowed? Turns out that 3 nice and fatty briskets, that they produce a lot of grease, and it overfills the grease pan. So that's something to be cognizant about. Never ran into that problem before, but also never have cooked 3 briskets at once on this cooker. So just something to keep in mind. All right, I'm gonna let these go. I'm gonna probe them and just start checking for deadness. I'm showing about 204 on one of the briskets, so it's right there. The others are not far behind it. So I'm gonna probe them. Once they're done, pull them off and start resting them, and then we shall eat soon. Well, in a couple hours.